Nation, Primo's recap. Let's go. What's going on, Raider Nation? Raider Primo back again with another live show. Today, you guys, we are going to be breaking down the loss against the 49ers. Hurts me to say that. The 49ers beat the Raiders 22-19 on Saturday. We're going to recap the preseason week 2 game. We're going to give out our studs and our duds, a new segment we're going to have on the recap show. The studs and the duds. But real quick, guys, before we get into it, just we got two people already showing some love. I see my guy Ant is in the building. I see CGR is in the building. Hey, telling people to share that link around. Yes, you guys, on the way in, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit the bell so you guys are not missing anything from Raiders Primos. And also share that link around. Get as many people in here in the conversation because, guys, we got a lot to talk about today. And good news, you guys, we can go as long as we need to. We can go as long as we need to. I'm not going to go super long, but there is a lot to talk about. And we talked about it last week, last recap show against the Seahawks that I'm going to do a better job at trying to educate myself and studying football more, studying film, bringing the film to you guys, also knowing what I'm looking for, what's a good technique, what's a bad technique. And little by little, I am catching on. I'm learning a lot. But I did I think 3.5 quarters breakdown. Sorry, you guys. That's like all the time I had. I was trying to squeeze in as much film as I can get. I am going to likely finish it just so I can, for a future live show, I can bring up some names maybe that are not going to make the stud and dud list. But 3 quarters in, and I think I got a list ready. And we're going to talk about that. The film from the starters was really good to look at. Really, I have a lot of confidence built up from last week. Last week it didn't have, we've seen how the offensive line looked on Genti's runs. Gino only had 3 pass attempts that were dropped last week against Seattle. But then you fast forward to this week, and the offense comes to life with the starters out there. Genti gets a big run. I think it was what was the corner's last name? But he ate some grass. And then Gino to Brock. I think that connection is going to feed families. That connection is we just got a little taste of the Gino to Brock connection, and it was great to see. And the offensive line, you guys, I gotta give the starting offensive line, I gotta give them some props, gotta give them their flowers. They handle besides I think there was like two plays where DJ Glaze gets ran back right into Gino's lap. Pause if necessary, but Gino got the ball out, so he didn't get sacked. You do wish to see DJ Glaze kind of hold up his own against a backup, but it wasn't really too detriment to the entire offense. We put up 10 points from the starting offense, so I really like what I seen from the starting offense. And Genti, you guys, going back and looking at the film, it's funny to me that people were calling Genti a bust. It is funny to me that people were calling Genti a bust. And this guy has vision. Like, that's all I can say. I know there's so many things we can talk about Genti, but the vision that he possesses, like, it was on full display against the Niners this past Saturday. But let me get more back into the chat. We got Sean Johnson in the building. Primos, I made here. I hope you have everything. Talk your shit. Oh, we're gonna talk. Well, there's a lot to talk about. I'm putting in the good first before I'm giving the good side of that film before we get to the bad, because the bad was, oh my goodness, the bad was really really bad. Sean, film evidence watching is better to critical. I'm assuming criticize players more accurate. Yes, it is, and it's mainly because you also don't want to give bad criticism to a player that probably doesn't deserve it. Which there was some time, there was sometimes I'm looking back on the film and there is like live action. I'm blaming a player, and then I go back in the film and I'm like, wait, that player didn't mess up. It was actually this player. Um, so yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that. Super. I got the list ready. There's just too many names. There's too many names on the list. Super. How is JPJ competing when Alex Kappa isn't even on the field? Seriously, I don't know why they even say that. Super. And when I look back, JPJ, he has to be the starting guard. The offensive line is way better with JPJ out there on the field. The way he's opening up holes for Genty to get through, and also in the passing game, just holding his own during the passing game on that line. You need JPJ on that starting lineup, on the starting lineup on that line. Competing, I mean, unless that's just their motto, everyone's competing, but JPJ is going to be that starter at the guard. Yaya, hey, salute to you for coming in. Super, think the secondary holds out, or will they add a cornerback? At this point, Super, they need to add a cornerback. That is one of the bads when I was watching the film. Our corner room, and people were telling me, oh, we got Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll, has he ever had a bad secondary? Guys, these are projected starters that are just letting guys get open. They're just letting guys get open, from DCAM, projected, who was fighting Darian for that projected starting spot, to Eric Stokes, giving up. I think he gave up like 2 or 3 passes that I seen. But Darian is the guy I'm gonna highlight for you, Super. Darian Porter is the guy that I'm going to highlight, that even me, I was high on. I don't know what he was doing Saturday. I do not know what Darian Porter was doing Saturday. It wasn't playing football, that's for sure. It was not playing football. It was not playing football. And y'all can kill me if you guys want, but the film ain't gonna lie. I don't know what Darian was doing, but it wasn't playing football. He was just another body on the defense. And again, you guys, this is a projected starter. This is somebody who is battling to be the opposite corner along Eric Stokes. That doesn't make me feel good. And to now possibly have Porter on the other side, that makes me even worse. Thinking about the secondary, they let, outside of that interception, you guys, Mac Jones had his way with this secondary and the receivers. The receivers and Mac Jones, they could do whatever they want to the secondary. And it was very, very bad to see JT Woods out there getting called for a PI, and he got killed on that PI. He had a grab. If he grabbed, the guy was going to be wide open because he got beat off the line. DCAM out there not showing a lot either. Like the entire secondary, you guys, especially that corner room, left a lot out there to be desired. They have to go add another corner, Super. They have to. There's not a corner on this roster right now that makes me feel good. And I know people will be like, well, we traded for Jacorian. Well, I'm going to let you guys know, Booker had himself a day. He had another solid outing. So I'm not too mad on that trade, because at least Booker's performing. If Booker wasn't performing, then I would look at it like, man, maybe we should have kept Jacorian. But Booker right now, he's showing some life on that defensive line. We need that slot covered somehow. It's not even a slot. It's everywhere. From the outside to the slot to the middle of the field. Like, corners are just not covering. And I don't know if it's them playing too much zone. But there was a play, you guys, and I think if you guys watched Graf's live, I believe it was yesterday, his recap show, he brought up a play of where Darian Porter looked like he just hesitated to make a play on the football. And I found that film. I found it. And I believe it was during the second quarter, and it was on the touchdown. Let me see if I can find it here for you guys. Or no, it was on the missed field goal drive for the Niners. I'll bring it up for you guys. It was, like I said, it was weird because it looked like he had a play on it. It looked like he had a play on it. And I feel like if he even got his head around, he would have made a play on it. Let me share my screen here. Let me share the screen. All right. Let me know if you guys can see it. So you're going to have Darian getting matched up with Demarcus Robinson up top. It's going to be a one-on-one. Ball is thrown on time, but the thing is, Darian, and the thing, you know what's crazy, Super? You know what's crazy? You say, and I get this. Darian Porter is still learning the position, needs to run support and get that outside leverage on contain. Caillou Blue Kelly looking like he's starting opposite of Stokes. And Kelly, he kind of held his own. I got to give him a little bit of props, but outside of that, it wasn't anything that stood out to me, that I could give Caillou Blue Kelly his flowers. But you know what's crazy, Super? Darian actually plays really good coverage here. He actually plays he's in really good position. You're gonna see him at the top. He's gonna be in man-to-man coverage, and he's in good position to make a play, but he just doesn't do it. He just stays right there waiting for the ball to come to DeMarcus. If he gets his head turned around, and again, yes, he's learning. I guarantee this is probably something Pete is going to talk to him about. If he gets his head around, I think he could break this pass up. If he gets his head around, maybe he can even make a break on the football and possibly maybe pick it off. But he could have made a play on this ball. And then there was a couple more, you guys. Again, there's just so many plays, but that was one of the plays that kind of stood out to me. That's like, what are we doing at the cornerback position? I don't like seeing that. And I get Porter is learning, but you're out there fighting for a starting role, Porter. You're a rookie that's trying to prove himself. And I've heard that, hey, it's vanilla defense, and I agree. I think it is. They are calling it vanilla, but I've also been hearing that maybe they're not playing as physical because it's preseason. I have to disagree. Maybe, yeah, you can give that excuse to Max, maybe Gino, or like playing too aggressively. I mean, we seen with Genty, he was playing a little aggressive out there on Saturday, and he kind of got banged up a little bit. So I can understand that. But this is a guy in Darian Porter who's a rookie trying to show his worth, as the second round pick, right? I think it's second round pick. Second or third round pick. I forgot what round. I know he was an early rounder, you guys. But again, he's trying to show his worth. And a play like that kind of makes you think, like, where's his head at? And maybe you're right, Super. Maybe he's just not ready to take that position on the outside. I wanted Darian to actually start on as a slot. Maybe the outside is too much for Darian. Maybe it is too much. Let me see. Oh, my mouse is tripping. Kenny, I do believe that. I think we're not going to see any starters against Arizona. And yeah. I think that's probably when we're going to probably pick up a corner, is when we start making our cuts. I think they're going to give these guys one more week to show to improve and again, go out there and make some noise. Go out there and prove that you deserve to be on this team. But yeah, against the Niners, that secondary got cooked up and down, from the starters to the second string to the third string to the fourth string. That secondary was getting wiped all over the field. What's going on, Lee Kai? Salute to you. I'm sorry, but our corners fucking sucks. And the film backs you up on that, Lee Guy. From starters to the backups, like even Palomao, and I'm not saying coverage-wise, but Palomao in the tackling game, like he missed like 3 tackles in one drive that I seen, and it was disgusting missed tackles. One was he's last line defense, running back comes up the gut, he wraps up the running back, but then the running back's, trying to break away, and he just like lets go, and he falls to the ground. He just lets go. Luckily, Kelly was there to clean it up. And then another one, same thing. Running back gets through the hole, and he just misses another tackle. And it was him or the running back, and the running back got the better of him. I got to see more though, yeah, from Bulu Kelly though. Like I said, he didn't from the film. It didn't, there was nothing that stood out of him like negative wise, but there wasn't any good either. But from a corner standpoint, when you don't hear anything, your name at all, that's essentially good, right? But I know I have heard him that he didn't have a good game, but he didn't have he may have had not a bad game, but there was maybe a couple plays out there he could have played a little bit better on. But like I said, he at least for me, he didn't. There was really nothing I could say about him, negative or positive. He was just out there. But yeah, Porter, same thing with him in the tackling department too. Trying to undercut a tight end and instead of wrapping him up. I mean, these are things that I want to see happen in the preseason because come week 1, you guys, we better not be missing tackles. I swear, bro, this laptop, this table will be getting flipped if we're missing a bunch of tackles week 1. Leak before the preseason started, so much hype, Darian Porter during practice, but where is this at during games? And Leak I talked about this, that all the hype coming out of camp, I love hearing that hype. I love hearing good things out of camp. But when the pads are on and it's game time, I need to see that on film. I need to see that during games. And I have not seen anything that impresses me. If anything, it's worrying me. And this defense is, thank goodness we may have a high-powered offense, you guys, because we may need to score 30 plus points to win some football games. Sean, I think sending a third-round pick to Seattle for Tariq Woolen makes way too much sense, or Stephon Gilmore, or Russell Douglas, or James Bradbury and free agents still available. Dude, I'm taking Tariq Woolen all day, every day. If you can make that happen, make it happen. Make it happen. Pete Carroll brought the best out of Woolen. Maybe you go take 2 corners. I mean, dude, it was bad. It was bad, Sean. Watching it was literally bad watching these wide receivers and Mac Jones have their way with our secondary. And this was part of it was our starters out there, and part of it was our second strings, the DCAMs, the Kelly was out there. Like I said, Darian was out there. Stokes, I think he ran with the ones for a little bit, but wasn't out there a lot. But like I said, you guys, and I was rooting for DCAM too, Lekai. I was hoping the best for DCAM. Again, hearing good things out of practice with DCAM, and come game time, this dude is getting baptized by worse wide receivers than Quentin Johnson. Raider Scorpio. What's up, Raider Nation? And salute to you, Raiders. Primo's question. You think the Raiders should go get Trey Hendrickson? You know what's crazy, Scorpio? I think our D-line could be fine. I think it can be fine. We have some young players on this D-line that they need reps. Like, they deserve the reps. You got Tonka Hemingway. He's out there making, there's a couple run plays that he's blowing up the run. No gains at all. Even Booker. I had to bring up Booker. He's, making some noise, not just in the running game, but also getting to the quarterback, forcing, errant throws, rushing Mac Jones back there in the pocket, not, having to hurry some throws. Again, there was a pass play that Darian got beat, but it was incomplete. Thank goodness for the pass rush, even though it was like an all-out blitz. But again, pass rush means a lot. Having said that, would I love a Hendrickson? I would, but I would rather go get Parsons. If you're going to give up draft capital anyway, and you're going to give a first-round pick, I would give up 2 first-round picks for a younger player who hasn't even hit his prime yet. Could you imagine Michael Parsons and Max Crosby on both sides in the ends? Like, that would be phenomenal to have. And like I said, with the defensive tackle position, we have some young guys on this team that they're gonna have growing pains because they're young, so they're not gonna come in here and be a Christian Wilkins type of player, but there's some promise there. There is some promise there with these defensive tackles. 808, Lalu, yes, he had himself a game too for the little snaps that he had. I think he did get a pressure, and I did see him on some like 2 or 3 run stops. So I definitely do think Lalu is going to get a starting spot. But like I said, there's a lot more like Tonka Hemingway, Booker. You got some depth pieces at the defensive tackle position that I don't think you necessarily need a Hendrickson. But if you got out Parsons, that's where I'm at. I would add a Parsons over Hendrickson. Not saying Hendrickson isn't badass. He is. He's badass, but he's like 31, 32 years old, right? Parsons is 26, if I believe. You get a very much young player, hasn't even hit his prime yet, and the ceiling is so high with Parsons. You pair him up with Max Crosby, bro, let this defensive line eat. Let me see. Super says they cannot be missing tackles on Trayvon Henderson or Ramondre Stevenson, or it's going to be a long day. And that's who they're missing tackles on. Super is the running backs. Like they're missing, some on receiver, but it's horrible when it comes to the running backs. And that's at fault of the defensive line too. And I got to give them the defensive line a lot of credit. I don't want to beat them up too much when it comes to stopping the run because they kind of held their own. There was maybe like 3-4 big runs that the Niners had. Outside of that, they couldn't really get nothing going. But when those big runs did happen, they were even bigger because corners are missing tackles, linebackers missing tackles. Matt Jones, like he's missing tackles. Like I said, Darian's missing tackles. Isaiah Palomalu, he's missing tackles. Like you got these corners and linebackers that you're the last line of defense. You missing tackles, bro. Henderson, you miss a tackle, that dude's gone. He could take 70 yards. He could take a 6-yard pass, 70 yards to the house. Same, and Ramondre, same thing. He is a bulldozer, but he has getaway speed. Lekai, did you yeah, I did see that. We could have made a move for him, need all the help we can get. And Lekai, like I said, I think it's because they want to see what these young guys have. And they're going to give them every opportunity to prove their worth to make this roster. I believe that after that Arizona game, I can see us going to get a corner. Is that now, unfortunately, Xavier Howard's off the books, but there is some corners that are still out there. I know, let me bring this up. Let me bring this up right now. Let me see right now. Let's see if Spot Track or yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for Spot Track. I wonder if I got to put, I got to go 2025. I know Asante Samuel Jr. is out there. Stephon Gilmore is out there. Like I said, we could probably trade for Woolen. Let me see. I want to see all available. Who's available? Okay, who is it? Not signed. Yeah, available. There we go. So, yeah, James Bradbury, he's out there. Kendall Fuller is out there. James Bradbury, these are guys that are up there in age. You got Bradbury, who's 32, Fuller, who's 30, Stephon Gilmore, 34, Rasul Douglas, 30. Asante Samuel, though, 25. He's hasn't even turned 26 yet. You could get, I liked him when he was with the Chargers. Let me see his, because you know how Pete likes those big type of corners. Let me see. Where's his measurables at? Because he's a short corner though, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm taking a chance, I'll take a chance on Asante. Or if you really want a true vet, get a Stephon Gilmore. Or even a James Bradbury. Like there's options out there, you guys. There is options out there for the Raiders to get help. He's 5'10". Asante Samuel's 5'10". There's options out there for the Raiders to make some moves at the cornerback position. Will they do it anytime soon? I don't think so. I think after that Arizona game, they will. Who? I mean, I like James Bradbury or Stephon Gilmore just because of the measurables, especially with Gilmore and also the veteran presence. Maybe bring in Asante too. Raider Scorpion, what do you think about Tyree Wilson's performance so far? Uh, I know a lot of people. I've been seeing that people have been saying he had a good game against the Niners. Um, he had a good game in stopping the run. Um, Lining up at defensive end, he is a presence out there when it comes to stopping the run. Any runs ran his way, he's blowing it up. It's the passing downs that he still lacks. He is still lacking. His get off from time to time, it still looks slow from the other pass rushers, and there's just no movement on the outside. There's literally no movement. He's not. It's not until he moves to the interior, Raider Scorpio, where I start seeing movement. That bull rush comes very, very handy when he's in the interior. There was a play where he took on 2 tackles on the interior and he freed up Malcolm Kuntz. Kuntz was able to get a quarterback hit, forced Mac Jones. I believe it was either Jones or Purdy. I don't know who the quarterback was in, but it was a rush throw incomplete. But Tyree basically took a bull rush, drove the guard backwards, and because Kuntz was coming on the underneath on a stunt, the tackle tried basically to help with Wilson, and the guard was basically to pull out and try to get Kuntz, but miscommunication there from the Niners offensive line. But reality was Tyree actually took them both out of the play, and Kuntz had a free shot on the quarterback. So I think it's long overdue. Tyree needs to get moved to the interior. Um, I see him performing better on the interior than on the defensive end, unless it's stopping the run. But that's really all he's good for when he's in the defensive end position. He's just good at stopping the run. I don't see anything else that's wowing me when it comes to passing downs. He is still, like I said, slow get off and just there's no movement. There's no move like there's literally no movement towards the quarterback. Sean, this is what happens with so much turnover. Losing Nate Hobbs, Ja'Cory Bennett, Jack Jones, Marcus Epps, Trayvon Merrick is a massive blow, wanting rookies to be elite, and they need time. Well, I'm not saying elite, Sean. It's the same thing. Like, yeah, we could have just kept these guys. We could have overpaid Nate Hobbs to continue being hurt. We could have kept Ja'Cory. Ja'Cory probably was, you could argue he showed some life last year. So I would have loved to see how he would have looked, honestly, Sean. I would have loved to see how he looked. But like I said, Booker, we can't lie and say that Booker has not been balling. He has been showing some good reps out there on tape. So I think the Eagles got what they got. It's a win for both sides in aspects. We got, we lost Wilkins. We needed to go make a trade for, we needed to go find some defensive tackle help. We got that with Booker, and Booker from day one, he's already making an impact on this defensive line. So I think Ja'Cory just got hurt. Prayers up to him. But I heard that he got hurt in this past game with the Eagles. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then Jack Jones, dude, I seen Adam Thielen freaking baptize this dude live. Like, I no. And Trayvon Merrick and Marcus Epps. I mean, hey, Jeremy Chin, you can argue, Sean. Jeremy Chin, he had a pick, but I didn't really see anything again negative to really talk about towards Jeremy Chin. But I have to give him props. Veteran presence, reading the eyes of Mac Jones, and just Mac Jones took the bait. Never seen Chin there. Took a easy interception. And then our Raider starters went down and got a touchdown off of that turnover. That is what you like to see from our starters. But yeah, I'm not wanting rookies to be elite, but dude, if we're gonna have the same shit of blowing coverages and keeping the middle of the field open, then yeah, why did we let Nate Hobbs go? Why did we let Jack Jones go? Like, why are we bringing in new players just for the same shit to happen? Unless this is where I have to go to. Is it a Patrick Graham issue? I want to ask you guys that. What issue do you guys think it is? Is it because we do have rookies and they're learning, the game on the fly, and we got Stokes who still is a young player, or is it a Patrick Graham issue? Is it a scheming issue? What do you guys think? Hobbs was injured too much, and so was Bennett, but he was a good cover guy. He was, but Booker was value for the trade. And like I said, Booker has been showing his worth and making a statement on this defensive line. The only players I thought they looked decent was Jeremy Chin and Chris Smith. Lika, you know what's crazy? I agree with you. And Chris Smith, and this is why I bring up Patrick Graham scheming, because Chris Smith was put into some horrible positions. There was one play where it was not DCam, friggin' Robinson of the Niners. He gets like a 22, 24-yard reception, and Chris Smith is that line, last line defense to probably pick that up, because the linebacker does get deep. He just doesn't get deep enough. Mac Jones throws amazing football only to where his receiver can get it. But the thing is, if Jones didn't throw it to Robinson, he had another wide open tight end to the left of Chris Smith. Like, Chris Smith basically had to play. He had to pick his poison. Does he take deep? Does he take Robinson, or does he take the tight end? Either way, both of them was open. And that's where I'm looking at, okay, that's got to be a Patrick Graham scheming issue, because why are you putting Chris Smith in a position that he has to pick up two receivers? Maybe it is on the players. Maybe Darian is supposed to come over, and because Darian essentially he's just covering the sideline. Like, he had he was covering his zone, but he was just covering the sideline. He wasn't covering nobody. And Robinson seen that, came into the inside middle of the field, again, wide open. And it's because Chris Smith can't get over, because there's a tight end running wide open, beating his linebacker. And again, middle of the field, wide open. So I don't know. Is it a Patrick Graham issue? It could be. It could be, you guys, because the middle of the field is being left wide open. And it's mainly due to the fact that these guys are watching their zone, but they're not covering the middle of the field. And the Niners offense was taking big advantage of that. Almost every route was towards the middle. Super. Thank you for your intel. Asante Samuels Jr. injured his shoulder, can't play the nickel. Bradbury is the injuries with Samuel. Then Bradbury or Gilmore. Hey, I appreciate it, CJR. Yes, you guys get this channel out. If you guys love the conversation so far, you love what Raiders Primos is bringing to you guys, please think about hitting that subscribe button. You guys, we are closing in at 550. We are getting very, very close to 600. Hit that like button. Get this video out. It pushes the more likes, pushes this video out to more Raider fans just like yourself. And also hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything from Raiders Primos. Leakai losing those players was not a massive blow. They didn't do much, but getting cooked despite the injuries last season. Yeah, man. Axel Raider Pete has 20 years of incompetence to clean up after they don't get turned around in one season. And I agree, Axel. But like I said, and I wasn't expecting that. I said that too. You can't expect Pete and Spytech to change 25 years of losing and turn it into a winning culture. You can't. But what you do want to see, Axel, these are their guys. Darian Porter is the guy they drafted. You will love to see some improvement from what we've seen last season. And right now, the secondary, different regime, but the secondary looks exactly like last season. Still getting burnt off the line, still giving up plays over the middle. That is not what we expected with the Pete Carroll-led defense, or at least led secondary, I should say. You just want to see some improvement, Axel, and we haven't seen that yet. Can we be honest? We haven't seen that yet. Now, yes, it is preseason. So I'm hoping week one, they clean this up. This is the time to make these mistakes, right, Excel? This is the time to make these mistakes. Blow these coverages, having these, mental mistakes out there. And even from Patrick Graham, maybe these are plays he's trying out that just are not working, that are probably not going to be in his playbook, when regular season starts. Who knows? But like I said, come week one, I just don't want to see these mistakes happen. If week one and we see these mistakes still happening, we got no excuses at that point, because it's on. When regular season happens, these games matter now. These games are for real. If we're out there missing tackles, blowing coverages, still not protecting the middle of the field, what is the problem on defense? Leakai, watching AOC play is like watching high blood pressure going up. We'll get into that later. I don't want to make it like because we gonna get into our studs and duds, but I want to make the chat feel known. I want to make you guys feel heard. Um, Super says Sean Johnson nailed it. The GM doesn't want to spend, so 2026 is the spend year after the team has seen what they got. It's a work in progress. Offense has to explode seriously. Super, yes, I agree with Sean too, saying that. I agree with Sean too. And says I'm blaming PG for this bad defense. I can't lie, and I can't disagree with you, Ant, because there's times out there where it just looks like these players are being put in bad positions. Let me see. CGR. Hopefully, we can grab some elite talent with that dough. Maybe I don't. I'm not. I don't think we're gonna get elite talent CGR like this season, but get some help. Like get. I think a veteran presence like a Gilmore in that needs to be in that corner room. That needs to be in that corner room. Sean, Primo, should we watch Patrick Graham's defense that second half of the 2023? We was lights out. Should we? Why did so good those final? Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know, Sean. I really that, and I think we hold on to that, right? We hold on to that, Sean. Those 8 games that the defense looked amazing. They looked amazing. Now, why can't it look like that again? Now, again, is it preseason? I got to keep telling myself that. Is it because it's preseason? Let's come back to the Patrick Graham blame game when it's week 1. And like I said, I'm just criticizing the players how they played Saturday. I'm not saying they can't get better or they're ass or they're trash or this and that. Like Darian, I'm not saying Darian Porter is going to be trash. Just saying he had a really bad game against the Niners out there. Really, really bad game. Super. No, it's 4 years of incompetence, and that is just failed past GM/coaches and drafting. Made playoffs in 2021. In 4 years in Vegas, they made the wild card once, and McDaniels blew it up. Can't disagree with you on that one. Can't disagree with you on that one. I hope we don't lose Lockie Tossie. I know Pete Carroll's going to develop him into a starting guard. I was getting close to Lee Guy because I think Tossie came in the 4th. I was getting close to getting watching some film. Of course, I'm still going to watch it, but I'm saying before the live so I could give you a real input on Lockie Tossie, but I hope so too. From what I seen last week against Seattle, I really do hope we keep this guy and we can develop him. The power that man possesses. I mean, dude, imagine Genty running behind Lockie Tossie. Like, love it. I would love that. But let's get to our studs and duds, you guys. I'm gonna start off with the studs. Let's start off on a high note here. Gotta give it to Genty, man. Gotta give it to Ashton Genty. After all the noise of last week, possibly being a bust, generational talent. Oh, okay. Negative, he had -1 yards on 3 carries. This time, I think he led the game like for both sides. If I'm not mistaken, let me see the game recap. Probably should have had the box score up, but I was busy watching film, y'all. Forgive me. Ashton Genty. He had 7 carries for 33 yards and 1 touchdown, long of 13, had 4.7 on average, and he did lead both sides in yards with 33. He had the most yards out of everybody who played on Saturday. I want to ask you guys: is Ashton Genty still a bust? Is Ashton Genty still a bust? And you know what, bro? I got film to back it up. Because there was there was 2 runs, and then of course one of them was the thump, but there was another run that Genty had. If I could bring it up, I gotta make sure I got the right one because I think it was just his vision. that I seen. Wasn't that one? Well, wasn't that one? Okay, it was the second drive. So it was the second drive that he essentially like, bro, he that drive was his. That drive was his. And one of them wasn't a big game, but again, it's just his vision. It's literally his vision. Sorry, my apologies, you guys. Wasn't planning on showing it, but I think we gotta, we gotta look at it twice. I think, yep, this is the thump here. I'm gonna bring it to the end zone view. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's bring it back. All right. So let's look at our 6th overall pick. That's gonna be a bust. All right. Let's look at this bust of a running back. He's gonna be a bust, man. He is gonna be such a man. I can't believe he did, bro. That's luck. That's luck. No, that isn't. That's vision. Because look what's gonna happen. An amazing blocking by the offensive line. But right away, play is gonna go here, but he already sees it. There's no hole here. He's gonna cut back inside. Cuts back inside. This gets blown up. So essentially, he's doing one of these like a zigzag. The vision, you guys, the vision to see the hole right here cut up, see that this is getting plugged up, but there's a hole right here, which leads one-on-one for, I think this is Lenore. Bro, you're about to eat grass. He doesn't even know what's coming to him. He's about to eat grass. Just, give him, just, Bro, I could watch this all day. I could watch this all day. Hey, but Gentie's a bust. Gentie's a bust. Genty is a bust, you guys. Genty is a bust. He's a bust. He's a bust. Gotta give to the entire starting offensive line. That's another stud. I love what I've seen out of there from Meredith, from JPJ. Like I said, there was only 2 reps from Glaze. If we're counting the entire offensive line, Miller out there balled out, doing Miller things. Parham had a good outing. Glaze did have, like I said, there was 2 reps where he kind of got pushed back into Gino's lap, but one of them was a quick deep pass to Dante that they missed on, and then Gino's going through his progressions, hit a check down to Ashton Genty. There was one other play, you guys, but I don't want to spend too much time looking for it. It was a short run by Genty, 3-4 yards, but again, the hole gets blown up, and he just cuts it to the outside, continuing to fight for positive gain, and he could have had a big run, but the Niners defender had a really beautiful tackle on Genty. Really saved it. If he didn't make that tackle, Genty would have had a really good chunk of yardage that he would have picked up. But yeah, I gotta give it to the starting offense as a whole, like studs, like from Gino to Brock, like to Michael Mayer, you guys getting involved in the offense. Like, I'm excited to see what this offense is gonna come the regular season. They're gonna have to score a lot of points, you guys. They're going to have to score a lot of points. Another stud got to go with Tonka Hemingway. Tonka Hemingway, and I got to go with the 2 Tonkas. Tonka Booker, Tonka Hemingway, or Tank. I think it's Tank Booker, right? It's like a tongue twister. Tonka Tank. Right. But Tank Booker, Tonka Hemingway, both had really good outings from what I seen on the film, blowing up a lot of run. I think there's like 3 or 4. Like they couldn't run when they were on the defensive line. You guys, the Niners could not run the football. They could not, unless they were like running it away from them. But even then, there was a play where Hemingway literally pushed the guard, and he used the guard to block the hole that the run, and essentially there was nothing there. The running back just ran into a wall. So love what I seen from Hemingway, and same with Booker. Booker did the same thing where he, they're both getting leverage. They're both gaining ground. They're not losing ground. They're gaining ground. That's what I love to see from my D tackles. Got to give them some love. Also, you guys, Charles Grant. When the second team went in there, I know people complain about Aiden O'Connell getting pressured in his face. Yes, but he was getting pressure in his face. Wasn't from Charles Grant. Charles Grant, I think outside of one play, he got pushed back, but he kind of recovered. held his ground, but his back was a little too close to O'Connell for O'Connell's comfort. But other than that, Charles Grant kind of held his own, basically held his own the entire time he was out there. Carlos Rogers struggled out there. Same with, I think his name is Putnam. I think that's his name. It's our backup center. Yeah, Will Putnam. It was Putnam, Rogers, and then I think it was Mafi. That's the name. I think he's one of the guards. Yeah, Mafi. Mafi, Putnam, and Rogers. They struggled out there. Putnam had some winning reps. He was kind of inconsistent. He would win some reps, and then he would it's like he gave up. It was him and Hafi that gave up both sacks against Aiden O'Connell. And they were both stunts. Putnam was late to get over on the first sack, and linebacker had a free shot, or not. It was the defensive end. Defensive end had a free shot on Aiden O'Connell, and the same thing happened with Mafi. Stunt, defensive end rolled underneath and had a free shot on Aiden O'Connell. Mafi and Putnam were late to get over, and they were our second team that was out there, you guys. And Thayer Mumford was not having a good outing either. He didn't give up any sacks, but he did give up, I don't know if it's on. Let me check with Scout because I think he took the notes. Let me see if Thayer, because Thayer it looked like he had some pressures given up. Thayer was getting pushed back, you guys, and it was almost every single passing play that I was seeing that he was just getting pushed back into Aiden O'Connell. And he was not being able to recover. There was one play. It was the play that Aiden rolled out to his left. It was incomplete. He rolls out because Mumford gets beat, and even with Hafi helping over, the defensive end still breaks through. Like he ends up chasing Aiden O'Connell down. Again, Aiden gets rid of the football, but Hafi and Mumford look defeated out there, you guys. I'm gonna keep it a buck, because then shortly after, as the game is going on, I think Hafi gets called for a holding call later in the game. It was either Hafi or Rogers. Could be wrong. One of them got called for a holding call, and it was a nasty holding call, and it was like one of those frustration penalties that he just took it out on the defender. Don't like to see that. Do not like to see that. But this is why you want to give guys like Laki Tassi a little bit more reps. You got these second string guys struggling out there. Give these third string guys maybe a chance to prove themselves. Now, they're struggling with third stringers, and I get it. But Laki Tassi, come on. He's out there bulldozing people. Put him with the second team. Lee Guy says, I hope we don't, we already went over that. What happened to my screen? Okay, we'll figure it out later. But let's get on to some more studs. If I can think, could we put Daniel Carlson there? He's making all his kicks. Daniel Carlson, he made all his field goals. Carlson, let me see where he's at. Carlson was 4 for 4, long of 54, had one extra point. He had 13 points by himself. I got to give Carlson some flowers here. Mr. Automatic. Outside of that, you guys, I don't have a lot of more studs. There's a lot more duds. There's a lot more duds. Let's start it off with the two quarterbacks. I got to give a dud to Cam Miller. I got to be fair. Got to give a dud to Cam Miller. Got to give a dud to Aiden O'Connell, both backup quarterbacks with really, really bad quarterback play out there. Now, there's a reason why I'm holding Aiden O'Connell more accountable than Cam Miller. And this is the reason why is Cam Miller's a rookie, and he had 2 drives out there to work with, where Aiden O'Connell had, I think he got put into the second quarter and basically played the entire third quarter. And I think Cam finally came in like midway fourth quarter, and it wasn't a beautiful outing for Aiden. Having that much reps, having that much opportunities, and again, watching what I was watching, I wish I would have seen a little bit more from Cam Miller, like at least opportunity wise. I wish I would have seen more than just 2 drives from him. I wish I would have seen more. But in regards to Aiden, dude is a one read quarterback. Dude is a one read quarterback. I don't know if Chip is calling short quick passes on purpose, or this is just Aiden's game, because he's not even letting plays develop. It's literally height, get the ball out, height, get the ball, and it's always his first read. His first read isn't there, check down. First read ain't there, check down, check down, check down. If the check down ain't there, then he's rolling away, throwing it out of bounds, or he's taking a sack. I don't. Again, back to back games that were really, really bad from Aiden O'Connell. This is why, again, you guys, I want to see more out of Cam Miller. I want to see more out of Cam Miller. We've seen a little bit of flashes last week against Seattle. Came back down to earth against the 49ers. But again, I wanted to see Cam get a full fourth quarter, or even, I don't know how y'all may feel about this. I don't care if it messes with Aiden O'Connell's psyche or whatever. I'm taking him out after that interception. I'm putting Cam Miller in. After that interception. And I want to see what do we have in Cam Miller? What do we have in Cam Miller? And he would have all the opportunities to show us what he has. Another dud, you guys got to go with the secondary. And this is going from starters all the way through the backups. We talked about the secondary earlier in the show. Secondary got to get better, you guys. Has to get better. Whether that's them going to make a trade for Woolen, going to get help in free agency, whether that's from Gilmore or from James Bradbury. But what they have right now is it. I don't like it. I do not feel confidence with the corner room that we have right now. I don't. And you give them just the passing defense in general. No, there's no pass rush. Then we got what? 1 or 2 sacks? Did we get one? Was it 1 or 2 sacks that we got? Let me see. We got 2 sacks, and they were both on Carter Bradley. But outside of that, you guys, like we didn't see really much of a pass rush. Like I said, Mike Jones was carving us up. No pass rush. Even on the interception. That's why I'm surprised he threw the interception, because Mac didn't even have pressure in his face. He just did not see Jeremy Chin at all. But there's no pass rush. Definitely will love to. Oh, got it. Yeah. Thank you, Sean, for pointing this out. Got to give a stud to Andre Carter. Yeah, he put together some good preseason. Edge Andre Carter continues to put together a good preseason with the Raiders. Had 2 pressures, a sack, and 20% win rate in week 2. In week 2, 2 pressures, 22% win rate, and quarterback hit in week 1. Or is that what he has in preseason? 22 pressures? Hey, Andre Carter, man. Hey, again, Sean, these are the guys that are playing with 3rd and 4th stringers I want to see play with our second string guys. Maybe even the starters, come the regular season. These are like and Rodrigo, I hear you. Cam has to develop, but this is where you give him time to develop. Preseason. Unless that's what you mean, Rodrigo, unless you're agreeing with me. I don't know, because I hear that a lot, and some people take that as Cam should sit on the bench to develop, but I'm like, how is he going to develop if he's not getting live game reps? If you're not putting him in, you're putting him in with like 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Like, he's going to get 1 drive. I'm surprised he got 2 drives, to be honest, Rodrigo. I'm surprised he got 2 drives. I thought he was going to get 1 drive at most, just 1 drive. I want to see more from Cam. I want to see him get the opportunities that Aiden is getting. 3 drives, 4 drives, however many drives he can get him those reps. I do believe Aiden is going to start the first half. But once it hits halftime, coming out of halftime, Rodrigo, I'm hoping and praying that Cam starts the second half. I want to see him start the second half. Give Cam Miller and I think it's Cedric Jackson, Bo Jackson's nephew. I think it's his nephew, right? Cedric Jackson, him and Cam Miller have a rapport together. It's clear as day. They got a rapport together. They have a connection. Imagine seeing two halves of them cooking defenses. What this can do for this team. Yes, it's preseason. Yes, it's against backups, but confidence. Anyone who's played sports, confidence is big. Confidence is big. When you got confidence in yourself to go, that you're telling yourself, I can go out there and make plays, does wonders for you. Which, yes, I do feel bad for Aiden because, bro, Aiden's confidence is probably shot right now. If he goes out there and has another bad game against Arizona, dude, his confidence is down. 3 interceptions in 2 games in preseason, you guys. In preseason. It's crazy. Appreciate Sean bringing the notes in. Dalton Wagner had 15 snaps, Cole Miller 15, Charles Grant 32 were highest graded Raiders offensive line against San Francisco, with Caleb Rogers, Jared Hufford, and DJ Glaze the lowest 3, which is crazy because Glaze, from what I've seen, he only had 2, unless run blocking he wasn't really too good. Hufford didn't get a chance to watch him, but yeah, Rogers was nasty. He had a nasty outing. That is one he's going to want to forget. I got to tell you, Rodrigo, the offense as a whole looks different with AOC running with the ones. Like, O-line or not, the thing is, what's crazy, Rodrigo, pressure does get in his face because he's running with 2s and 3s on the offensive line. But there's even plays out there, Rodrigo, where the pocket is clean, and it's like Aiden's. I don't like saying this about a football player, but he's playing scared out there. Like he has a faster clock than he should be. And yes, you could blame that on the offensive line of him taking hits, but he only got sacked twice. That was the only time he got really hit that I seen was those 2 sacks. Outside of that, yeah, there was pressure here and there, but it's the NFL. Pressure is going to happen. But for the most part, there was plays out there that the line's holding up and he's quick to give up on the play, not let routes develop. That he checks it down for a 5-yard gain, but there's Johnson coming up on an in route, beating his corner, and had Aiden just waited a little bit longer, could have hit him for a first down. That's what I'm talking about, is that he panics when his first read is not there and goes immediately to his check down. And when he thinks pressure is there, pressure's not there. Let me see. Sean says Raiders rookie DT JJ Pegus posted 4 pressures, a sack, quarterback hit, tackle for loss, and a run stop against the Niners. Added an astronomical 32 pass rush, win rate on 17 attempts. And yeah, Sean, the film backs this up. The film backs this up. That's why I'm okay with our defensive tackle room. Is it going to be a lot of growing pains? Yes, but these young guys have potential to take their game tonight. Again, reps, you guys. Reps. Game, being in the game. Sean says Raiders cornerbacks Eric Stokes and Darian Porter combined to allow 5 receptions for 73 yards and a 109.4 quarterback rating. And again, 2 projected starters, you guys. 2 projected starters. Against the Niners, Caillou Blue Kelly, also possibly fighting for a starting position, opposite of Stokes, allowed 2 receptions for 22 yards and a pass breakup on 3 targets. And that's why I said, Sean, there wasn't really much to talk about Blue Kelly, but negative or positive, there's really nothing to talk about. But As a corner, that's what we like to hear. You know, when your name isn't called for anything negative, hey, that's positive. Rodrigo says, I say let Cam play from the second quarter to the fourth. You know, and Rodrigo, I would love that. I think at this point, Rodrigo, we already know what we have with Aiden O'Connell. And what I meant by seeing the difference in the offense when Aiden is in there, like the play calling. Like it seems like the play calling is different from when Gino is in there or even Cam is in there. Like the play calling is totally different. The offense is moving a lot more. And Pete Carroll even spoke about it that when Aiden is in there, it feels like he is slowing the Raiders' offense down, slowing that momentum down. And you can see it. It's on film, you guys. You can see that the offense is more like moving slower than they were with Gino. Like Gino getting these, that chunk pass to Brock Bowers. And yes, Aiden has some nice throws out there, you guys. I'm not gonna take that away from him. He has some nice throws out there. There was one again, Mumford getting pushed right into his back, or I think it was it Rodgers? It was either Rodgers or Mumford, and he had to step up with pressure in his face, threw a nice ball to Besh. Besh made a nice. It was either Besh or Bachman, but they made a nice catch for a first down. And you know what's crazy is that Aiden makes those types of throws with pressure in his face, and it's like he takes one step forward, but then takes two steps back. I want to see what Cam has, man. I want to see what Cam has. This Saturday, Rodrigo, I agree 100% with you. I will be praying that we see Cam play from the second quarter to the end of the game. I think we've seen what Aiden is. I think Aiden should get a one quarter. And let's see what Cam can do with the second, third string guys. Mainly the second string. I want to see what he does with the second team. Salute to CGR with the Raiders. Appreciate it, CGR. Got Sean Johnson, Cam Miller, who played college football at North Dakota State from 2020 to 2024, started in 56 games as a quarterback during his 5 seasons there. He led the Bison to a 45-11 record as a starter, which ranks third in FCS history for starting quarterback wins. For me, Sean, it's the poise. It is the poise that Cam has in the pocket and just his arm. Right, throwing that zip to Jackson over the slant, getting first, it just felt different right off the gate. The offense just felt different with Cam out there. Yes, he had an interception, took 2 sacks. That was really ugly. But again, 2 drives. If Aiden can be, throw an interception and come back and give it another chance, why can't Cam Miller get the same treatment? Why can't Cam? I know Cam is a rookie, but preseason, this is where you can put these guys and get them live game reps. Cam Miller probably needs this more than Aiden. I'm sorry. I think Cam needs more game reps than Aiden. Aiden may get picked up by the Patriots. And again, I know people saying maybe let's trade Aiden. I'm going to be honest, you guys. I don't think anybody's trading for Aiden. Will the Patriots call? Maybe, but what are you going to get out of it? Your best cutting the losses, cutting Aiden and let him get him picked up by somebody else. Now, this raises the question, do you keep Aiden because he does have that experience? He has that, those 3 years experience where Cam Miller is still a rookie quarterback at the end of the day. He still does need game time reps to develop, and he's a 6th-round pick. That's a lot to expect out of if Gino goes down, you're bringing Cam Miller in. Is Cam Miller getting thrown into the fire? Yes, he is. He is getting thrown in the fire. But here's the difference, you guys. Can we just have high hopes that Gino stays healthy? Let's have high hopes that Gino stays healthy during the entire season. And if he goes down and Cam has to go in, then Cam has to go in. But at the same time, you do have to rely on the experience. Aiden has starting experience. He has starting experience, and that does mean something in the NFL. Unfortunately, that means something in the NFL. If, God forbid, Gino goes down and Aiden comes in, I think you can wrap 2025 up as a loss. And again, it's not because the Raiders did bad. It's just, hey, their starting quarterback went down and their quarterback 2 came in, and he is not, he's quarterback 2 for a reason. So yeah, but hey, praying to the football gods that Geno Smith stays healthy. Praying for a healthy season from Geno Smith. Sean says, what would Cam Miller look like with one drive with our starters? It would be interesting. I mean, Sean, I don't want to put him with the starters because, again, he hasn't earned that right yet. But I think after the Seattle game, he earned his right to get some runs with the second team. I think he deserves a little bit of a bump up in the quarterback room. Aiden O'Connell trade him to Josh McDummy in New England for quarterback Christian. Bro, if the Patriots made that trade, bro, talk about finessing them. Hey, yeah, that's all we have. That's all we can have, right? That's all we can have. And I think with the duds, like I said, it's the quarterbacks, Cam Miller, Aiden O'Connell. I know Cam, maybe you may disagree that he's on the dud list, but had a nasty interception, 2 sacks that kind of led to the interception happening, and basically lost the Raiders the game. You got to keep it real. Got to keep it real. I don't want to seem like I'm biased to Cam Miller, like I want Aiden out of here. Like, no, Cam didn't perform. He had 2 opportunities and he didn't perform. The only issue I have is that Cam should be given more opportunities than Aiden. That's the only thing that I have in regards to that. But yeah, Aiden and Cam, they didn't have good ball. They didn't play good ball out there. Caleb Rogers, like I said, Caleb Rogers, Putnam, Hoffy, our backup guards and our backup center. JPJ is the backup center. I know too. If something happens to Meredith, but yeah, Putnam. He, like I said, he shows some flashes out there, but it was more inconsistency that I seen out there. Him not getting any leverage, getting pushed back. But there's times he's blocking his ass off, but then there's times he's giving up a sack on a stunt, and the same thing with Hoffy. And then Rodgers just did not have a good outing at all in run protection and in pass protection. Run blocking and pass blocking just did not have a good game at all. He struggles with the spin moves, it seems like, because that defensive tackle, it seems like that's all they were doing to Rodgers. They would size him up, pause if necessary, and just do a spin move, and he would get beat that way. And pressure would be right in the quarterback's face, or our run would be blown up. But yeah, that's our duds. Is there any duds I can think of? I think I hit it on the button with the duds. Our whole entire secondary, from starters to the third stringers, they got to clean that shit up. And the defense as a whole, you know what? Our defense as a whole with the tackling. Yeah, I'm shouting out the defensive line, but bro, tackling gotta get work. And you know what? Yeah, I can't really beat up on the defensive line that much when it comes to missed tackles. It's these linebackers and corners. These linebackers and corners need to get and figure out how to get better at tackling, because that's a big dud. Whiffing on, I think Isaiah Palomalo, he had like 3 or 4 missed tackles on one drive. Raider Scorpio, if Geno gets hurt, hopefully not. Please, football gods, don't let that happen. I'm praying, bro. I'm praying that don't happen, because he go down, 2026, here we come. Raider Scorpio, AFC's 3 seasons and still don't got no idea how to be a quarterback for the NFL. See, I can't disagree. Like, it's like I try, and when I was watching the film, you guys, I was trying to see how can I give Aiden the benefit of the doubt on his bad quarterback play, and I can't, you guys. I can't, because as soon as the ball snapped, like I said, one read, if it's not there, he's panicking. Check down. If the check down's not there, he's probably taking a sack or he's running out, throwing it away. Did he make some good throws out there? He did, but he made more questionable decisions than actual good ones. And the interception was kind of the icing on the cake that I was like, bro, put Cam Miller in. Let's see what Cam Miller has. I'm done with Aiden, you guys. I'm done with Aiden. We know what we have in him. We know what type of quarterback he like. If he is to come in and have to, let's say again, God forbid Geno goes down and Aiden comes in, we know what type of offense we're about to see. And it's one of those where, Lord have mercy, please, like help us, help us, please, because all I see, and guys, what makes it worse, he started against top NFL talent. He's going against second and third stringers, 3-year vet going against second and third stringers and is struggling against second and third stringers. And yes, people will beat up on the offensive line. You can, but what I seen, the offensive line didn't play that bad. It also helps when you're getting the ball out quick. When your first read isn't there, you're checking it down to your running back, or your first read gets open. There's no excuses for him, you guys. There's literally no excuses you guys can have for Aiden O'Connell to have a performance in back-to-back weeks like he did. Isaiah, our young defensive tackles have a lot of potential. They do, Isaiah. Like, again, going back to the film never lies, you guys. Film never lies. And the defensive tackles, they were balling, from Tonka Hemingway to JJ Pegoose to even Lalu. Like, our young defensive tackles were making noise. And even Booker, newly acquired from the Eagles, he was making some noise. So I'm kind of, and again, they weren't even out there with, the likes of Max Crosby or Malcolm Kuntz. Imagine putting those guys with a guy like Max Crosby right next to them. It can open up some opportunities for these young defensive tackles. I think they're gonna get some reps in the regular season. Yeah. Pete basically said AEOC is too slow. He's gonna call it how he sees it, yeah. He's gonna call it how he sees it. Sean Johnson, did you say Jamal Adams was showing dog on tape? Yes. Thank you for reminding me, Sean. Thank you for reminding me. Because me and Sean actually had this conversation, and his conversation was, okay, is the defense holding back and not trying to be too physical, not trying to lay out there for a tackle like aggressively? And I'm like, hey, that could be the case. And it's funny, as soon as we're having that conversation, right at the goal line, Jamal comes up and just puts 110% effort into it, you guys. A preseason game, and Jamal Adams, the run, like he stops. He helps stop the running back from getting into the end zone. And it was a beautiful tackle. Wraps up the legs and is just pulling him back. And I told Sean, and I sent him the clip. I told Sean, I'm like, see, the thing is, you have Jamal Adams, who's probably the most injury prone on that defense, going out there and giving it his all, going out there and putting 110% on tape. Why can't the rest of the defense do that? Why can't the rest of the defense do that? Jamal Adams, Max Crosby out there giving, it's a preseason game, but they're over there giving 110%, trying to make every single tackle. And you got Darian Porter over here trying to undercut a tight end blindly, I mind you. He literally looks away from the tight end trying to give him a shoulder just to eat grass. Isaiah Palomalu missing three tackles in the same drive. Matt Jones missing tackles. It's Matt Jones, right? The linebacker. I think he's 41. Just disgusting, you guys. That's why I'm like, you know what? No, there's no excuses, because when you have a guy like Jamal Adams, who the NFL has given up on, who's out there literally injury prone, you guys. That's what he's known for in his career, injury prone. And he's out there. He's out there busting his tail 110% out there in a preseason game. Why can't the rest of the starters do the same? Or not even the starters, but why can't the rest of the defense do the same? At least from the linebackers to the secondary. CGR, 3 interceptions. Against backups, CGR. Against backups. Think about that. Against backups. And you know what's even crazy, CGR? It's not like they were good defensive plays or tip drills or anything like that. No, these were terrible throws. All 3 of them. Terrible throws by Aiden O'Connell. That it was solely on Aiden O'Connell with these interceptions. No excuses. First one, underthrown. Second one, again, just staring down his receiver. Third one, again, staring down his receiver. He didn't fucking learn. Stop staring down your receivers, Aiden. And that is what's going to get him burned. Is he every single drive, passing rep that I've seen from Aiden just locks on to his first receiver and does not get his eyes off of that receiver. Bro, whoever's single in this chat, get you a woman the way Aiden O'Connell looks at his first read. Get you a woman the way Aiden O'Connell looks at his first read. Telling you, he would not get his read unless it's not there. It gets taken away. Bro, he would not get off his first read. And then the second read is a check down. It's nasty. League guy, CJ Stroud's rookie season led the Texans to their first playoff win. Jaden Daniels last season led the Commanders to the NFC Championship, and yet our fans had so many excuses for AOC and Carr. League guy, and I was big supporters of both quarterbacks, of Carr and AOC, because there was a little bit of potential there that you've seen. There was potential that they could not reach. We need a quarterback that can reach that potential. AOC played 2 quarters, and it still doesn't. That hurts. Played 2 quarters and 3 interceptions, or played 2 quarters against the Niners, and again didn't have a really solid outing. His stats is 15 for 23, 138 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. Got sacked twice, has a passer rating of 63.3. And again, you guys, that interception was, dude, hit him right in the chest. Hit him right in the chest. Raider Scorpio, if Geno stay healthy, I expect an improvement in wins. How many you say? Hopefully more than 4 games. Definitely more than 4 games. I'm with Yaya here. I'm saying 8 to 9 wins, but it can easily be a 7-10 record, Raider Scorpio, depending how this defense plays. It truly depends how this defense plays. If we're getting into shootout week in and week out, I could see 7 wins because our schedule was tough. Our schedule was tough. And speaking of our schedule, you guys, how about this Wednesday? We have a live show and we go over the schedule prediction. We break down the schedule. And we got 2 preseason games to look at. And I know they're preseason, but this is making me look at the schedule a little bit differently. I think 7 to 9 wins. Yeah. I think 7 to 9 wins. And it's because we still have a lot of holes. I said that in the last show. We have a lot of holes on the defense. There's a lot of question marks on the defense that we don't know what this defense really looks like. A lot of people were telling me that Pete Carroll has never had a bad secondary. His secondary got gashed Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, whatever. Better see some improvement come this Saturday and also week 1. Week 1, we better not have this shit. It isn't, Yaya. It isn't. It's not. I want to say like the Raider in me, the bias in me, Yaya wants to say 10 wins, but I don't see 10 wins when I look at the schedule. When I look at the schedule, we're gonna get into it, Yaya, Wednesday. I'm gonna create a thumbnail. We'll get into it on Wednesday, but I don't see 10 wins. The floor is 9-8. The ceiling can be 6-11, maybe 7-10. That's where the floor could be. This is better than a 4-win team, but saying it's better to go from a 4-13 team to a 10-7 team, unless we win a game that we're not supposed to, and we squeeze out like how we did with the Baltimore Ravens last year, maybe 10-7. But I don't see 10 wins. I see 9 as the ceiling, 9-8, 7-10 as the floor. Leak Eye, Jordan Love, 9-8 Packers, his first playoff win against the Cowgirls. You got all these for real. For real, Leak Eye. You got freaking young quarterbacks getting their first playoff win while we're still searching for our first playoff win since 2002. It's crazy. Like these quarterbacks were in diapers. Like they was little kids during the Raiders' last playoff win, and they already got a playoff win before the Raiders. That's sad. Yes, you guys, please think about hitting that subscribe button and hit that like. Does not cost you guys anything. And share the link around, you guys. We are growing. We are getting close to 550 subscribers. Let's see if we can get close to 600. I'm over here grinding, you guys. And again, I would not be here without you guys. I would not be here without you guys. Like I was literally on. Like as soon as I got home, I was watching film, getting ready for this live show. I was super excited to start talking football with you guys because there was a lot to talk about from Saturday's game. A lot to talk about. And even though we lost, even though there was some negative, there was some positive. Seeing the offensive starters, going out there and doing what they do. Brock Bowers basically just putting a stamp like I'm the best tight end in the league. Genty, seeing what he can, what he's going to bring to the offense. Seeing what Geno is going to do, a lot. There were some nice throws out there. Yes, overthrew Dante Thorne Jr., but I expect as the season goes on, they're going to get that rapport down, and we're going to see a lot of 60, 70-yard touchdowns from Geno to Dante, and even Trey Tucker. He was getting some targets. Jacoby, I'm interested to see how Besh will look with the starting lineup because I did like what I seen out of Besh. I like what I seen out of Bachman too. He made some. I think he made 2 catches out there, but there were some nice catches out there. I would love to see how they look with our starters. This is the game, you guys. This is the game against Arizona for guys like Lobby, guys like Cedric Jackson, Bachman to really make some noise. Even Besh to make some noise. And do we see Tyree out there again? I would like to see a little bit more out of him. I know he's probably going to start, be part of the starting rotation on the Raiders defensive line, but I would like to see what we can get out of if we can get Tyree a little bit more confidence heading into week 1. And I'm excited to see more of the defensive tackles. Tonka Hemingway. We'll love to see what even Snowden, you guys. I got to give Snowden's some love too. He really had, I wouldn't say a great game, but he had a decent outing. He didn't really give up too much in the running game. Pass rush was probably could have been a little bit better, but love what I seen from our defensive tackles and love how what we've seen in the run defense. Them stopping the run. Can they carry that into next week? We'll love to see that. Definitely going to be looking at the passing defense, you guys, against Arizona. We may have 2 lots. So before we get out of here, you guys, we are going to have a schedule breakdown because Wednesday, we are going to go live for the Raiders 2025 schedule prediction. This is going to be my prediction that I've yet to bless you guys with. And then Friday, we are going to have a fantasy football Raiders breakdown. I'm going to break down the Raiders players that you may be thinking about to add to your fantasy, whether that's Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers. Do not pick this Raiders defense. I'm please don't. I will not do that to you guys. Okay, do not play this Raiders defense. Do not pick the Raiders defense at all, unless they start balling out and you got to pick them up on the. We'll leave it to the waiver wire. Leave that to the waiver wire. But yeah, if Brock Bowers, maybe Jacoby, maybe Dante. Dante is in the starting lineup. Is he gonna possibly maybe late round into your draft, you want to get him as a backup just to hold him on the bench? We're gonna talk about that. And then during that live, after we do our breakdown, you guys are gonna be invited. Well, invited, but you guys are basically gonna get a look at my league. I am the commissioner of my own fantasy league, and I'm doing something this year that I've not done before, and I'm going to be creating the draft order. Now, it is still going to be random. Basically, going to put our team names on the wheel, and my league, they have to come to the live. They have to come to the live to find out what position they are going to be drafting in. So you guys may meet some of the teams that are in the league. Some of them, mainly all of them, are Niner fans. So please talk your shit, Raider Nation. One of them's an Eagles fan, defending champ. So I don't know if we can talk that shit to him, but hey, we love talking shit over here at Raider Nation. But definitely tune in Friday. I'm still working on a time for that show, and then later in the day, I'll probably see if Nate can come on, or maybe I'll see who can pull up with me, and we can do a Raiders and Cardinals breakdown. I would love to do it Saturday. Problem is, I work Saturday morning, so I wouldn't be able to go live for a preview show. So I will have to put that for Friday night. So Friday, we're gonna have two lives, you guys. Friday morning is likely going to be the draft breakdown, and then the draft order reveal. And then later in the evening or in the afternoon, like 3:30 our regular time, we would have a Raiders and Cardinals breakdown going into our final preseason game. And then I gotta see when the cuts happen or when they start announcing them, because I would love to go live as they're happening, and that way we can look at it together. So yeah, guys, you guys are gonna want to hit that subscribe button. You guys are gonna want to hit the like, and also definitely hit that bell. We got a lot coming this week that you guys are not gonna want to miss. So definitely hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything. Also, before I take this away, Raider Scorpio says, let's get Primos to 600 subs by the end of the football season. Press that button and subscribe, share and like. This is the spot to listen to Raiders news. 600 subs. Let's get there. Thank you, Raider Scorpio. I appreciate that. One of the mods in here, and appreciate CGR with appreciate the Primo content. My dude. Hey, salute to you. Salute. I can't say it like Graf. Can't say it like Graf. But yes, you guys, definitely you guys are going to want to hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything. Also, follow our socials on X, on Instagram. I am more active. I won't lie to you guys. I am more active on Instagram than X. But Instagram is likely going to be the first to know when we go live. I post there when we're about to go live, when we're going to go live. So definitely follow our link on Instagram and follow on X. I'll try to get more active on X and let you guys know when shows are going live, when they are scheduled. I will be posting those. So definitely, you guys stay in the loop. Stay in the loop. Content's not ending. We are back. We are in full swing. I'm not going anywhere. I love doing this. The passion is back, and the passion is not going to leave. Okay, it's not going to leave. I apologize for last season, you guys. That passion kind of died because I was tired of losing football. But no, you ride with this team. And I was riding, but I was riding in the quiet. I was riding by myself because I was hurting. But with that being said, you guys, an hour and a half live show, you guys, man, what a great show. And it couldn't have happened without the wonderful nation, best fan base in sports. I mean that from MLB, NBA, NFL, hockey, tennis, race car, Raider Nation, best fan base. Glad to be a part of it. Love every single one of y'all. See you guys Wednesday for the schedule prediction. We'll also probably talk some news too, some Raiders camp news that's coming out. But definitely, you guys hit that bell so you guys are not missing anything. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy your guys' Monday. Peace. Hold on. Before we get out of here, Raiders!